As if a breach of trust wasn't enough to tick off 50 million people, how about this? Facebook admits they've been keeping texting and calling logs for millions of people who use Android phones. Bad news bears. And now the Federal Trade Commission is investigating Facebook's privacy practices. Now the FTC says it'll look into the potential misuse of personal information. The Deputy Chief Privacy Officer at Facebook says they're strongly committed to protecting people's information and they appreciate the opportunity to answer questions from the FTC. News of this investigation sent Facebook shares down 5%, but they were already down 14% after the scandal broke. But there's even more fallout tonight. Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley requests that Zuckerberg testify at a consumer data privacy hearing in 2 weeks. This is the third committee to do so. And the state of Illinois is the first to file a lawsuit against Facebook and the data mining company at the center of this debacle, Cambridge Analytica. Now, Illinois alleges there was a fraudulent scheme to harvest the data of millions of American voters, a scheme they say was allowed and encouraged by Facebook. The lawsuit paints Facebook not only as a social media company, but the largest data mining operation in existence. Now, as for the text and call logs, Facebook says or stresses they didn't sell that data. No texts or calls were recorded. The company doesn't know what you said, just that you talked to someone at whatever time. Now, in fact, they say it's not that it is an opt-in feature for people using Messenger or Facebook Lite on Android. So far, the public has gotten an apology in the form of full-page ads in several major newspapers and a CNN interview, as well as Facebook post, of course. But it'll be interesting to see, in my opinion, if Zuckerberg will be forced to step down or if he will voluntarily resign. And someone actually on my Facebook made a really good point. He's going to fight tooth and nail if it does come down to that, because that's essentially his baby. But I think somewhere the Winklevoss twins are kind of happy that this is blowing up in his face after all of these years. So
it is scary stuff, absolutely.
It is. But is this something that we all kind of knew that was coming as much as we didn't want to?
Well, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week. I mean, if you're voluntarily putting stuff out there, you have to at least have it in the back of your mind that somebody might possibly see it.
So you have the permission to, or you give these apps and all these things permission to use this and that and the other thing, and you don't know what's in the fine print where you're like, okay, I want to take this quiz.
And even if you delete something you've posted, who knows who screen grabbed it and it's still out there.
Forever.
You never
Screenshots
know.
don't die.
They don't.